we unlock the different degree programs from different Philippine universities. I am your host, Max Guanzon, and today we have a good friend of mine from the College of St. Benilde, si Joy. And to start, let's do the introductions. Joy, give us your name, your preferred pronouns, other information that you want to share with us, and your degree program, and from what university.
Okay. My name is Jaireen Isabel Pabilona. My friends call me Joy. My preferred pronouns are she, her. Other information, I'd just like to put it out there that the way I talk does not represent Benilde as a whole. And I'm also going to file a leave of absence, so I'm an irregular student. And I take multimedia arts in De La Salle College of St. Benilde.
Okay.
Go.
Okay, so multimedia arts, tama ba?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yes.
so describe your degree program in 2 to 3 sentences.
Multimedia arts for me is a degree for those who are interested in both digital and traditional arts. From the name itself, it covers different fields from graphic design, typography, video editing, filming, etc. And
Mm-mm.
based on my observations and the people around me, a lot of students choose this program because one, they're interested in art, and two, they're undecided on which specialization or niche they want to go into, so they want to explore first.
Mm. So very versatile pala tong ano no, tong
Mm-hmm.
multimedia arts.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you do in your degree program, and describe a typical day as a multimedia arts student before the pandemic and right now na online lahat?
Before the pandemic, before the pandemic, I don't think there's a specific way to live a creative life, like in the field of
Mm.
creatives. And that would also depend on a person's life work balance. And we all work differently in time
Mm.
management and all that. But before the pandemic, we had a lot of minor subjects, just like two majors per term or something. So a typical day would go like I just go to school, early in the morning, have lunch in the cafeteria, and leave in the afternoon. But for now, I'd say everything's online, and all of our classes, they're all online as well. And it would depend on the prof if they choose to record it or not. But from what I know, Benil doesn't really um they don't strictly enforce attendance. Yeah, they put into consideration the situation of the students.
Mm.
Nawala yung camera mo isa.
Go lang, go lang.
Okay. um, and yeah, and for a lazy person like me, a day or a week's worth, I can say that there is a lot of brainstorming and research happening in MMA. And just because we're in an art program doesn't mean they just make us do this and that right off the bat, because most, if not all, of our homeworks and projects actually involve some research before executing it as a graphic or a video.
Mm. So ma-plates tong ano no, ma-plates tong multimedia arts.
Yeah, yeah. Ma-homework din naman.
Mm. So
Pero it takes time.
mm.
Parang they really give you time to figure out the content. Like, ayaw na lang nung parang para-bara lang.
Mm. So can you share with us yung mga sample ng mga plates na pinapagawa sa iyo?
Sample. Oh my God, nakakahiya. Wait lang. Sige.
No, kahit describe mo lang,
Um,
kahit hindi yung actual
okay.
ano.
Akala ko papakita. Describe. Mm, depende sa major, but for example, in typography, one of our project was to make a series of 3 posters, and since it's a typography class, we were only allowed to use type text ganon and play around with it and have like a theme for the three of it and connect everything together, like yung theme ng bawat poster into one.
Mm.
And ano pa ba? Doon we were supposed to apply everything that we learned, like say spacing, um, emphasis, and actually, since it's like my third or fourth major in, kailangan or magagamit mo yung natutunan nyo from like my first major class, which was history of graphic design. Dun kasi tinuro sa amin yung mga art movements, ganyan-ganyan. So, parang that knowledge nagamit din namin in the future majors.
So ano yung mga plates nyo hindi lang digital, no? So paano nyo pinapas
Depending on
yung
the subject.
mm,
Depending on the subject. Before the pandemic, a lot of my majors, mga ano talaga, traditional. We had drawing, I had drawing classes. Yung history of graphic design namin, minsan pinapa-collage kami, ganyan-ganyan. Painting. Um, Now, it's mostly digital talaga.
mm,
Parang sa last sem ko naman, last sem, gumawa kami ng brand book. And kapag face-to-face, yung original was like, we have to have it printed.
mm,
Like, as a book talaga. Pero now, we just pass it as a PDF.
I see, I see. So ako, I'm only familiar with LaSalle and UP's organizational culture. So yung org
Mm.
culture ng two schools na yun. So
Ayun
actually
nga.
it's my first time featuring CSB in this series and third school pa lang na i-feature ko. So I wanna know more about CSB's organizational culture. So
Oh my God.
yung
Mhm.
degree program mo ba may home org and part ka ba nun and how does it help you as a multimedia arts student?
Sorry, hindi kita pala matutulungan dyan. Um, if I'm not mistaken, every degree program in Benilde has its own home organization. And
Mm,
for MMA, that would be Media Max. And personal choice ko kasi na hindi sumali because I wanted to try other things that's
mm,
different. Like, I wanted different from what I'll face every day because that's what I'm going to study. And on my free time, yun rin yung gagawin ko. So I wanted something different. So like something like a breather. So what I joined in is Artelier, and it's a traditional arts
mm,
organization. Ganun. Like, marami naman siyang ano, maraming orgs na pwedeng salihan. And
mm,
like Artelier, it's I forgot the term, but it's more of like an interest-based organization.
mm.
Parang Nihongo Club, ganun.
So, kung hindi ka masyado nag-org, how do you apply or like how do you practice your degree program? May mga passion projects ka ba? And bukod sa ACADS, like how do you apply your degree program?
Mm. I apply my degree program by helping those around me na interested in like starting up a business. Say, for example, my mom. She started like a small business, and I was the one who made her Facebook page and all the graphics she was gonna
Mm,
use. And then sa old I worked for a small streaming group before, right? And I was the one making their overlays, everything they post on Facebook, mga cover photos nila, and all that. So doon ko na-apply.
mm.
Eh, Yeah.
So, na-apply mo pala yung degree program mo in your day-to-day life, pati yung mga passion projects mo.
Yeah, because for me, getting into an art program changes the way you see things. You know, for example, when I see a photo or a video, parang someone outside of our field would just say, "Oh, that's nice."
Mm.
And for me, napansin ko kasi sa sarili ko, I'd say na, "Wow, ang ganda ng cinematography, ang ganda ng ganito, ganyan,
Ganda ng
ganda
font,
ng script writing, ah,
ganda ng kulay,
ganda ng
ganun.
typeface nila, ganun,
Mm.
ganyan. Ganda naman ng colorways nila, ng color scheme, ganon, it's different. And of course, every day we see different things. So parang ganon. It's not a
Okay.
bother though. It's fun.
So, my next question for you is how is multimedia arts similar or different from other programs? For example, fine arts or advertising siguro, I think medyo malapit. So how is it different and what makes it unique?
Um, I don't really get to talk to to people outside of my school, or I don't really know anyone na nasa advertising arts
Mm.
or anything similar, so I don't really, get to talk to them. But from what I know, I do have a friend in fine arts, and iba yung ginagawa nila sa amin.
Mm.
So in multimedia arts, what we do is it's kind of focused on like today, the things today, like say social media,
Mm.
ganyan ganyan. While fine arts is more on techniques, say like techniques in painting, history noon, ganyan ganyan. I think that's the biggest difference there. Pero sa advertising arts or say communication arts, I think it's probably the same.
Mm.
Pero depending on the school, say for example in UST, they have advertising arts, and from what I know, they're kind of strict in traditional arts. Like before you actually get into CFAD, you have to take like a drawing test or
Mm.
a painting test. And in Benilde, it's not like that. Kasi I think they believe in you get to hone your skills in the school. Turo nga sa amin, drawing isn't a talent, it's a skill that you learn. Ganun.
Okay, that's good to hear. So,
Yeah.
hindi lang naman yata Benilde yung nag-o-offer ng MMA.
Mm-hmm.
Which other universities do you know yung nag-o-offer ng MMA, and ano yung edge ng Benilde compared to those other
Uh-huh.
universities?
Well, there's only 3 schools or 4 schools I know of that offer multimedia arts. That would be I Academy, CIIT,
Mm.
Mint, Meridian International, and then Benilde. I'm not sure kung meron
Mm.
pang iba, pero yun yung mga pinagpipilian ko nung senior high ako. And what made me choose Benilde was what takes it apart kasi is of course the facilities.
Mm. I agree
And
with you.
it's much parang kumbaga mas experienced na sila sa ganun. Marami na silang connections, they have this and that already prepared for the students, and it's been running for a long time na compared
Mm.
sa others. And that's what made me choose Binyag. And parang onti lang, di naman onti, medyo malaki rin yung difference sa tuition, pero bawi kasi sa facilities, I swear.
Mm. Ako, I definitely agree with the facilities kasi when I look at Benilde from the outside, parang ang ganda ng mga buildings,
Mm-mm.
and sa mga napapanood ko ay nababasa ko na yung mga facilities nga ng Benilde ng CSB, super super cutting edge and super top of the
Yeah.
line na maganda talaga. And
Yeah,
actually,
tsaka,
pangarap ko
yeah.
talagang mag-aral sa Benilde because of the
Oh,
facilities. And it's one of the
mm-mm.
best creative schools in the Philippines.
Yeah. Para sa akin, their facilities are really student-oriented.
Mm.
So, for example, we have this small building called the generator, and on exams week, basta mga hell week, they open that 24 hours for a week, and students can sleep there, they can do their projects there, ganyan ganyan,
Mm.
with Wi-Fi. And merong CR, ganun ganyan. Tapos malapit lang kayo sa, may hot water, cold water. Tama ba? Oo. It's nice.
Okay. So, what do you love about multimedia arts, and what do you hate about it siguro?
What do I hate about it? Hmm. Siguro unahin ko na lang yung hate. Uh, not, di naman sa hate, pero nakakapagod din siya. I think for other people like outside the school, parang it would seem like, oh, since you're just in the computer, you're just doing
Mm.
graphics, Photoshop, this and that. It looks easy, but actually it's not. Like I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of brainstorming and
Mm.
involved, and that takes out your creative juices talaga, especially kung sabay-sabay tapos iba-iba pa. Nakaka-ano rin, nakakawindang.
Nakaka-drain. Mm.
Oo, nakaka-drain talaga. Kailangan mo ng strong will for it,
Mm.
and hands down sa mga nagtutuloy talaga. What I
Okay.
love about it naman,
Mm.
yung diversity ng program.
Mm.
Kasi nga, all of our friends know this, but I was actually supposed to take film, but disagreement, this and that. So I enrolled in multimedia arts because alam ko later on naman makaka-take ako ng mga film related subjects like video editing or cinematography ata. Wala
Mm.
pa kasi ako sa electives kasi second year pa lang ako.
Okay, actually isa to sa mga pinakagusto kong malaman kasi maraming gantong misconceptions sa multimedia arts. So ano
Mhm.
yung difference ng graphic artist sa graphic designer, sa digital artist, and other terms na related sa, I guess, multimedia arts? In your own terms.
Hmm. Ag unahin ko yung graphic artist sa graphic designer. Um, Art is different from design kasi
Mm.
design is um in the terms of art, you find a solution to problems, ganon. That's design, 'di ba? Uh, so graphic design means, say for example, you're a business and like every business has starts from scratch or like has its own problems. Say for example, walang engagement or no brand identity, ganyan ganyan. That's the job of graphic designers na tulungan sila sa ganon. While graphic artists are artists and yun yung mga illustrators, um, painters, uh, animators, I guess. So yun yung difference nila from my understanding.
And yung digital artist naman, I think those are
Digital I
artists na digital yung
uh,
gamit, no?
digital artist would be specific sa digital artist kasi
Mm.
graphic artist it could be traditional or
Traditional.
digital. Uh, so it falls under that, but
Mm.
specific lang.
So what other common misconceptions do people have about your degree program?
MMA daw, mixed martial arts. Char. Ang dami ko nang na-encounter gano'n. Sabi ko, anong course mo? MMA. Mixed martial arts? Hindi. Gano'n lang. Pero, ano pa ba? Parang wala naman na ako masyadong naririnig.
Mm.
Kasi medyo tama naman yung naisip nila na kung multimedia arts, it has a lot of graphic design and they're not wrong about that. But it's not limited to that. Yun na lang.
Mm.
It's not limited to graphic design. Ayun siguro. Um, Marami kasing nag-iisip na since multimedia arts, parang inisip nila na, digital mostly kasi multimedia na. And, it's age of technology. So people often think that it only involves digital art or graphic design,
Mm.
but it doesn't kasi.
Okay. So let's now go to the career options. So what career paths are available to graphic design graduates?
Multimedia arts
I mean
graduates?
multimedia art graduates. Sorry.
Um, Actually, sobrang dami.
Mm.
Right now, di ba sabi ko sa inyo na mag-LOA ako, and with my experience and the knowledge that I have and the skills, I can apply to different kinds of jobs, ranging from advertising, marketing, social media management, graphic design mismo, or video editing. There's a lot that you can choose from, and it all depends to what you like talaga.
Mm.
Mm-mm.
So you're planning to LOA, no?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So what are your plans on still pursuing this still pursuing this degree program, or at least still pursuing this career path of multimedia arts?
Well, I'm taking an LOA to stop from studying kasi na-burnout na ako. But I applied to different internships. And those internships are in the fields of marketing, branding, graphic design.
Mm.
Itutuloy ko naman. Just no more minors. Medyo sawa na akong magsulat ng essay.
Mm.
Kaya ayun, dun muna ako sa gusto ko talaga munang gawin.
Okay, that's very brave and inspiring actually na to take your time and retreat muna when things get heavy and things are burning you out.
Yeah, I don't wanna lie to myself anymore.
Okay, so for my last question, what's your advice to young people who want to pursue this degree program or pursue this career? Alam naman kasi natin yung misconception and
Mhm,
yung stigma here in the Philippines about arts courses. It's not as profitable as, let's say, med or law or accounting or
mhm.
engineering ganyan. So, ayun, what's your advice? And where can they find out more about your degree program? Possibly website ng Benilde, no?
Ah, for the degree program, I think Benilde has you can find it in their website, the courses that they offer, like the subjects mismo for
Mm,
every degree program. So you can check out there kung gusto mo yung mga subjects na to the animation, photography, mga majors. Makikita nyo naman doon listed. Advice, um, I always tell this to my friends kasi puro kami mga nasa field of art. I tell them that mm, money will follow
mm,
kasi that's a big concern for a lot of people here. Especially kung kunyari mag-aaral ka, gagastos ka ng marami, di ba?
mm,
Sinisip nila like, baka ganito, ganyan, i-graduate, wala naman akong mapuntahan. Um, for me, in my opinion, this is my entirely my opinion. Money follows where you are naman. Like, if you find the specific thing that you want to do and you want to do for a long time, um, money will follow you talaga. You see those small-time artists making prints, mugs. Everybody starts small talaga.
mm.
Mm-hmm. Tignan mo, si Max na naman, he started small. And just continue.
Mm.
Pero learn when to stop or take breaks. Kasi it can be tiring din talaga. Um, ano pa ba? Yung naisip ako, nakalimutan ko eh. Nakalimutan ko bigla. Um, wag matakot. Kasi, di ba, that's what stops us rin a lot.
Mm,
Kasi takot kayo na, ay baka ganito, ganyan, unpredictable yung future. Kahit naman ano piliin nyo, hindi nyo alam ano mangyayari talaga.
mm.
So, go choose what you want, where your heart is. Then money will follow, and happiness will too.
Okay, that's very
Yan.
inspiring, Joy. Thank you so much for that. So that's it for our episode. Baka may mga gusto kang i-plug dyan na social media platforms or passion projects. I can put it in the description box. Pero say it here na rin.
I have a dead Instagram account, a dead art account at
Mm,
dying sloth_.
mm.
Yun lang.
Okay, sige. I'll put
Shy
it.
type ako, sorry.
Okay. So ayun, that's it for our episode of Course Unpacked tonight. Thank you so much for watching. And thank you so much, Joy, for being with us here tonight and sharing with
Thank
us
you.
your brave story of taking up multimedia arts and taking a law kasi nababurnout ka na. And thank you for sharing your knowledge about
Thank you.
multimedia arts,
Thank you so
graphic
much for
design, and
having me.
digital art. So yeah, that's it for Course Unpacked. If you want to see other degree programs na i-feature dito, comment it down below para we can find someone who's from that degree program and check out my other videos in this series and my other videos na rin in this YouTube channel. So that's it. Thank you and see you next time.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye.